What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So, for the last couple of days, ever since Sly 5 was confirmed by a reliable leaker, there's been a lot of talk online, a lot of discussion. If Sly 5 succeeds, is that going to lead to a proper Jak 4? Or will it lead to a Jak and Daxter reboot, remake, or something of the kind? Now, obviously, it's anybody's guess, but we're going to talk about what I think about it today. So, basically, we know that Jak 4 would have to be kind of stretched. It would have to be a very odd game if it actually came out. It's been almost 20 years since the last Jak game. It's not fresh in people's minds. See, with Sly 5, since Sly is currently trapped in Egypt, obviously that could work because it's going to be picking up on a story that we pretty much know nothing about other than the fact that he's stuck in Egypt, where Jak 4 would have to be a continuation of either Jak 3 or Jak and Daxter The Lost Frontier. Both games that are really old at this point, where Sly 4 is really recent at this point as of right now. So if Jak was to come back, personally, I think they would have to do what they did with God of War. I think they would have to completely reboot it. Maybe continue the same story, but just reboot the story some kind of way where it's not connected to the other games. But then you'd have this other side of the fan base actually legitimately upset about that because the Jak they want isn't real. But if we make the Jak the fans want, you and I want, then the new Sony fans aren't gonna like it. They aren't gonna play it because they're not gonna know what's happening. That's what happened with Ratchet and Clank 2016. The game overall did not do too great because it was a reboot, but the jokes and stuff in the game heavily relied on you having played all the other games. So people ultimately felt left out. And that is something that could happen if they don't think and do a proper reintroduction to Jak before they attempt a Jak 4. Obviously, we've talked about Jak 4 on this channel, probably at this point for at least 30 or 40 videos. But what really makes it interesting this time is that now it's actually a legitimate possibility. Like, how are they gonna do it? Like, it's obviously not something that they're just gonna be able to plop out like Horizon Forbidden West. It's gonna have to be something they're actually gonna have to think hard about and try to do. It's not a current IP that people know and love. It's an old IP that dedicated PlayStation fans know, but the new PlayStation fans don't know. When you think about what Jak did on the PlayStation 2, each game only sold like 2 to 3 million units maximum. But today, you know, that's obviously would be terrible if that was its lifetime sales. So they're gonna have to do more than just try to recapture those fans. They're gonna have to recapture an entire fan base for an entire genre that does not exist anymore outside of Nintendo platforms. When we saw Metroid Dread get announced earlier this year, that was like the go-to then and there, like, oh my gosh, they're actually gonna start bringing back old games. And then since then we've had Sly 5 get confirmed, we have speculations now and theories of Jak 4 popping up, and if Sly 5 gets announced at a state of play, maybe not this year but next year or something, then obviously at this point we're going to be able to take that and say, okay, this is actually happening. Jak 4 is once again a reality. But we also have to worry if Sly 5 fails, we're not getting Jak 4. That's what happened last generation. The Ratchet and Clank reboot and film failed, which ultimately led to the Sly Cooper film getting cancelled, and then the Jak and Daxter film getting cancelled, as well as the reboot games that went along with each of those films. So we're really gonna have to watch this and pay attention to how this goes. I think at this point more than ever, it's safe to say that if you don't have a PlayStation 5, you should really get on that. I mean, we're so close to all these crazy games coming out. And if you don't want to get left behind, it's time to find a PlayStation 5. I don't care what you gotta do. Go rob your local Wendy's, do whatever it takes to get a PlayStation 5 because you don't want to miss out on what's to come. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, try not to die, and I'll see you in the next video.